Welcome.
Yeah, and it's great having Kevin because I did this morning go over your slides and your content. Great stuff, and a lot of this is just it's about sales.
It is.
So you're gonna have to get really close to the
All
microphone, but it is about sales. And so welcome to the podcast. This is your first time here. Ryan Reed has let you off the leash, so you must have had a really good 2025, man.
Had to build up that trust to let me in public. That's awesome.
All right, so for me and our team, the biggest focus for us is all about having real estate conversations. Anywhere we go, no matter who we're talking with, no matter the setting, how can I take a introduction and turn it into a real estate conversation? And so I'm just gonna throw this over to you. Just hit the down button next time you want to go to the slide. But I love this concept of choosing the words that you use because words are everything.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and we don't realize the power of our words sometimes. And when we are able to drive in that message that we've been talking about all morning here, the numbers can only say so much. The setting can only say so much. It's really you have to find a way to use the right words to bring that conversation together and figure out their goals and how to align them to have a mutual win, right? And so when we're talking about out and about, Nick teed it up very well. You mentioned your...
Well, he can only play t-ball. So...
when you say you're in real estate, it very much is, well, how's the market? And being able to have that conversation is really important. I'm not going to go into that back and forth because I know Nick already touched on that, but at the same time, how are you going to respond? How are you going to use your words to not your advantage, but their advantage? Do you truly believe you're the best fit to serve them? And if you do, then make sure that you're equipped with the words to say.
Now you were when we were going over the 3-pack, you were shaking your head. So I'm assuming maybe that you've read the How to Build Your Story Brand book.
Oh, yeah.
And that for me, going back to that book, is really the power of words and my position and my role in somebody's real estate journey, but how I present myself and what are the words that I use and what are the phrases that I use.
Absolutely. Making them the hero and you the guide is top notch, right? Like that's what you need to do. And we have figured out a framework that I teach like our team and just whenever I have an opportunity to talk with people and they actually want to listen. I don't know why they would, but they do. I tell them we acknowledge, we repeat, and then we respond. And when we do that, it's really powerful. You're acknowledging what someone's saying, and then you repeat back for clarity. You're not going to say it verbatim, but you're going to just have a general understanding, and then you respond to it. Because right then and there, it's almost like when you introduce someone, you say their name again, and they're like, oh, no. It's actually, hey, Todd, no, it's Ted. Hey, Nicholas, no, I go by Nick. Okay, now you know because you repeated it back and you got that clarity. Then from there, you actually can respond. And so I really, really enjoy that framework. And it allows you to slow down and you really allow your words to come through because now you're going to get a deeper conversation.
How many times has somebody said something to us and it's immediately it rubs us raw and we get just ticked, whether it's how we're treated at by a flight attendant, a server, or wherever the case is. And it can work conversely of the words and the phrases that we use can immediately put people at ease and want to get them to that next level. And I like the concept of great communicators guide conversations instead of forcing them. This is the big challenge of open houses. You feel like you've got that short window and we just start vomiting information upon people and we start forcing the conversation into trying to convert rather than just guiding that conversation and building that trust.
Yeah, someone ticks you off, right? Instead of reacting, help me understand, right? Tell me more about that. Why? Right? And then those things are going to, one, give you time to cool down. And then two, maybe did you just hear them wrong?
Yeah.
Was it a misunderstanding, or am I just irritable that day? Do I have a chip on my shoulder? What is it? And if you say, help me understand, or just out of curiosity, is this what you meant? And they may be like, whoa, I didn't mean to offend you that way. I meant to say it this way. Or maybe they very much said, yeah, I meant that. You're being a jerk. But it depends on if you're talking to Mike or not. And so,
wow, it's already started.
I had to go ahead and start this a little bit. I feel like I'm already involved.
I was
we had a handshake.
I was trying
before.
to be nice.
Yeah, we had a handshake before that he wasn't going to pick on me,
Mike,
but I wanted to open it up.
To react to that negative
That was
comment.
for the T-ball comment.
I saw how it affected Nick,
Yeah, I
and so
appreciate that. It's funny, Kevin. So the staff will actually say sometimes call it getting nicked because they'll be upset or frustrated about something. We'll have a conversation, and I think you just gave away my three favorite starting points. It's I guess called being valued at this point, but being able to letting the person feel like they're being heard is the most important piece of that, because that calms them down. That's what their goal is. They want you to understand, be compassionate. I don't like using empathetic. Be compassionate and hearing what they're saying. And those three phrases right there gets them to go, okay, they actually care. Yep. And they do, because you're asking those questions to try to seeking to understand, do a better job of fixing the miscommunication, understanding better. I love this. This is fantastic.
I think also asking curiosity questions can put us at ease as well. One of going back to the 7 levels of communication, one of my key takeaways from that book is, and I use this everywhere when you're having a conversation with someone and they say, "Yeah, I have an agent," or "My friend's an agent," and so we're great. Well, tell me about them. What do you like about them? Rather than that immediate shut down.
Oh yeah.
Because buyers are liars. Yeah. Okay. Everybody knows an agent. Everybody has an agent, but doesn't mean they really have an agent.
Yeah.
And oftentimes the digger I deep into that conversation, then the more opportunity that I have to position my proposition value and kind of flip the script.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's almost when you're at the open house, for instance, and they're like, "Oh, we have an agent." "Oh, that's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that." And you don't necessarily need to take a step back. I always tell people, when other agents, a question's not like, "Hey, are you already under contract with an agent?" Why do you want to ask questions you don't want the answer to? Right? Like they're in your open house. You can have that conversation.
I need to apply that to my marriage. I'm not asking anymore. I know the answer.
Just out of curiosity. How did yesterday go?
So how would you arrive at that same type of thing the Valle way?
Yeah, so if we're at an open house and they're like, we're talking and they're like, "Yeah, this is great, but I actually have an agent." "Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. How long have you been working with them? Or how do you know them?" And when they're like, "Oh, it's so and so," be like, "Oh my goodness." Or you can go that route, and also you can also be really light at it up front too. "I have an agent." "Oh, thank goodness. Like, now I know you're normal," because everyone at least knows 1 to 5 agents, right? Like, if you didn't know an agent, then I'd be a little scared right now.
That's actually really funny. One of the things my partner Ryan does, I love this, and we typically use this when somebody says something outlandish and stupid. And going back to the curiosity, and I do this with my kids. I'll be like, "Okay, so walk me through this. How did you get to the point that you think that the market is going to crash? I want to understand.
Yeah.
Are you reading things that I'm not reading? Because I read a lot of things. So just walk me through the process on how you got to where you're at right now."
I love that, Mike, too, because you can use that in the open house setting, right? Like, walk me through, like, what made you come here on your own today? Mm-hmm. Are you out shopping by yourself? Like, oh, wow. And you can even make those kind of, "Wow, tell me more about that." "Oh yeah, my agent's busy." "Oh, they're too busy to show you houses today." Okay, that makes sense. Are they doing an open house as well? Maybe, they're just busy working with one of their clients. "No, they're on vacation. They're in Tahiti this week," and whatever. And now you're kind of getting that understanding of where they're at, and then you get to find out, oh, they're not actually under contract. Their cousin's best friend's mother is a realtor, and that there's a loyalty there that they feel like they're going to use, but it may not actually be there. And so,
right.
Yeah. And that furthering that conversation down the road, you're allowing them to think. So the more you can get into conversations where you're doing the questions, asking the questions, it's not a control thing, but it really is an ability to understand more. And if they're constantly asking the questions, or you're having to give stats constantly, especially public stats, you're going to be you can be shown to be wrong pretty quickly, right?
Yep.
And so having the ability to have an arsenal of questions is going to be really important.
Yeah. Now, I know you brought quite a few slides. So the thought process would be, we've got 20 minutes left, 15 minutes left. Walk us through some of the other ones, and Mike will continue to kind of ask you some questions as we get through them. But I want to make sure, fairness to your creation.
Well, I do want to go back to that last slide, because Todd, you've always preached this, and I use this a lot because for people who are on the fence, and you have a way of saying it. So what I'm hearing is, if I found you the right property in this neighborhood with the right price, the right amount of bedrooms, would you be, if I found you the perfect one, would you be willing to go take a look at it and possibly write?
Okay, you scripted it a little bit differently, but I like that. And you have to be able to do that. But I usually say to people, so let me make sure I understand this. If I found you the perfect home and it was on the other side of McClintock, so you were no longer in Chandler, you're now in Tempe, but you specifically asked me for properties in Chandler, you don't want to buy it? And you look at them and they're like, or you can add to that. I used to say, if I found you, the exact home that you're looking for and it was on the other side of the boundary that you gave me, and maybe it was even a better deal, you don't want to buy it? And a lot of times they're like, well, because sometimes people say, I want to live in Chandler. Okay, well, why do you want to live in Chandler? Are you municipally bound by the career that you have? Sometimes government workers and things like that. Or if somebody says, I want a 3-bedroom plus den, so if we can't find the 3-bedroom with a den already created, would you be interested in looking at a 4-bedroom?
Or tell me why do you need a den?
Yeah. So, but you can. But to Mike's point, I'm surprised you remember that. But
I use it all the time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And this slide in particular, these questions, think about the setting if you're out there and you're making cold calls, right? You're calling expireds, canceled, for sale by owners, and you're trying to progress the conversation forward, and you're trying to ask, get the appointment set, or let's say you're actually at the appointment, the listing appointment itself. If everything worked out perfectly, what would that look like? Is absolutely a game changer when you're talking to a for sale by owner or a canceled, because they have had a bad experience in the past. Mm-hmm. No one in their right mind is going to be a for sale by owner unless they had a really bad experience, right? Or they don't have trust or faith in the industry. So getting them to figure that out and walk through that, what would you need to happen for that to make sense is fantastic when you're talking about pricing, right? When you're asking people, what are you looking for in your next home, or what's going to make it to where you're going to want to sell this one, and they start giving all the criteria, what would need to happen to make this makes sense? Well, now they're going to tell you exactly what they need. Now you're not going to have to overcome objections. We get in this mindset as realtors that we have to overcome objections. We don't have to overcome objections. We have to ask good questions to then understand where they're coming from so we can serve alongside them. I always tell people, I'm not coming here to be on the other side of the table from you. I'm here with you to then come alongside you to achieve your goals. And if we can do that, then we know it's a copacetic relationship. It's going to work well, and we need to go forward.
Well,
so
it's your last point here on the slide. I mean, you're turning expectation setting into collaboration. Your goal is to not just move them forward in action and ready to, they do want to write, or they do want to show. You're changing their mindset about the approach of working with you, their agent. They're building trust immediately through having conversation, because they don't know what they don't know, and they're scared and they're not sure what to do. Your ability to ask them forward-thinking questions and then asking permission, it puts them on the same plane with you. There is no animosity. And these are conversations you can do in every walk of life, not just when you're trying to work with a potential client. Yeah. This is something we should be doing daily as we talk to every human being around us, putting them in the collaboration bucket, not the I want to be yes, thank you.
Yeah. No one wants to be sold, but everyone's buying something.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the word conversion screwed us up. Mm-hmm. Because we all think that with that phone call that we have to make an appointment with them. No, you have to make an opportunity to talk to them again. And that comes in a lot of different ways. Go ahead, keep going. I think.
Well, what happened to relationships, right? This is a relationship industry. Life is relationships. It's about who we know and the relationships that we build along the way. And why can't the person that you cold call on a Monday morning be the person that you can end up showing up to your events and knowing their kids and understanding, seeing the life events and Why can't you build those relationships? I mean, when we were younger, it was much easier. There's that, we have a natural tendency to get out of the ability to build relationships and convert. And so when we're younger, you go on the playground, you make friends, right? Like you just did. And now as we get into adults, we're in our own bubble. We drive, we get in our car, we go to the office, then we go home, and if we have an appointment, oh my goodness, that's going to be crazy. Oh, I don't want to go talk to that. Like, what do you mean? Go talk to them. Go make friends. Go out there and be friendly.
Back to Mike's real estate conversations, right?
So
yes. And so bringing this into, oh, sorry, Mike.
Go ahead. I just, for me, this whole concept of asking permission is something that feel like I've adopted over the last 12 months. And it's become a powerful tool because on one hand, I'm not a fan of asking yes and no questions because people will take the path of least resistance. Hey, would you like me to come over and I'll do a CMA on your house? Okay, that's a yes or no question, and it's easy for them to say no. And so we really focus on options, but we've really kind of got into when you're asking permission, you're making them feel like that they have the power. And so a lot of times when we're wanting to even make a cash offer on a house, the script is really simple. Hey, I'm Mike's da-da-da-da-da. We got your name and number. Do I have your permission to come over tomorrow night with a cash offer?
Yeah.
We get it done in 20 seconds.
And to your point, though, people are going to say no, right? So that's why when I'm making calls, did I catch you at the absolute worst time? Because if you say, the normal thing is, hey, did I catch you at an okay time? Is it okay to talk? They say no. If you say, did I catch you at the absolute worst time? They're instantly going to be like, no. And then you're able to actually just go forward, right?
I love that.
That's awesome. I love
And from that, when you say, hey, do I have the permission to come over? Would you be open-minded to exploring an opportunity where I can provide you a cash offer that helps you meet these needs, right? Now it's an ability to, and you know what you're doing, but I'm like, that's just that. Would you be open-minded to? Because most people want to be open-minded. Most people, whether they say they do or not, want to be like most people. So in a scenario when you're talking about price adjustments in the market that we're in right now, where sellers have to be a little bit more flexible, most of my clients do this. Most people do this, or you're negotiating with someone hard. Most of the time when I'm talking to someone reasonable, or you seem very reasonable, like you start throwing that reasonable in there through the conversation before you get to the actual part that you need them to be reasonable for. And now they've already had that in their mind that they're a reasonable person. Is it going to work every single time? No. But will it help your odds? Absolutely. To then have a favorable outcome. They hired you to sell their house. You need them to be reasonable so you can sell their house. And so would it be helpful if I shared a way on how we can progress this conversation to a way that you can actually get more leads? You can, whatever, like you can use this into a way, into any way you'd like. I would be really wrong if I didn't share where I got this from, because it's a resource that anyone can get. The gentleman's name is Phil M. Jones. And so he has a book called Exactly What to Say. And he has a game called Exactly What to Role Play. And so what we do on our team on Wednesdays is we go through exactly what to role play.
Love that.
And that's where you. Oh, sorry.
I
gave it to you.
Open the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be smarter than the box.
Would you be open-minded for me to show you how to open the box?
One of my
Actually, I would. In fact, I demonstrated right away that I didn't know how. So thank you for assisting me.
One of my favorite things that I don't know where I got it from, I think I stole it from somebody, was when you're in the middle of a hard conversation, asking the person, are you venting with me or are you looking for suggestions? Am I allowed to provide you suggestions? And it's something that I use a lot with my children, and then, no disrespect to anybody, I use it a lot in my day. When someone is having a hard time, if I have to have a hard conversation and they've been going for a while and they're frustrated, that asking, because then as soon as they give you permission, because of course they're going to give you permission, now you guys are again back on the same page. They are asking you to give your ideas, your recommendations. You're not always trying to fix the problem. You're trying to be collaborative with them so that everyone can get a win out of the conversation.
Absolutely. And the idea behind asking those types of questions and progressing the conversation is important for family, everything.
Yeah.
The exactly what to role play, you opened up a few of it, but it gives you scenarios of where you're going to be, right? Are you talking to a past client? Are you servicing a client? Are you circle prospecting? Are you talking to a seller lead, a listing appointment, right? Then you have the objections, right? And so what we do is we have there's usually 3 people involved. There'd be a kind of like a referee, or sometimes it's 2v1, and that's fun. And then you have these objections. We're just looking right now. Okay, well, we're just looking right now, and you're talking to an online lead inquiry. That never happens, right? And then you have to go, how important is it, right? Hey, we're just looking right now, and it's online lead. Okay, perfect. How important is it that you find a home within the next few months, right? Or how important is it that you find a home here in the Valley? And now they're going to share with you why it's important. Oh, I'm relocating for a job. Oh, like a life change. And so now you're really able to understand at a much higher level. So
Can you share the author one more time, please?
Phil M. Jones.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly what to say. And then this is called exactly what to role play.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's I'm actually familiar with the book. Some really, really good stuff. And we talked about the 3-pack about sales strategy. These are sales strategies because it's just all about the dialogue. Totally. And I tell people, if you really want to see this in practice, go sit in a timeshare presentation.
Yeah, but after you've given them a second no, don't listen to anything further.
I love it. I love it. Phil has a different. I really love his perspective because it is sales. But at the and I said this a little bit earlier, like no one wants to be sold, but everyone's buying, right? And it's that level of understanding that we're trying to achieve something, right? Like that they want to sell you a timeshare. You may be wanting a timeshare, maybe wanting a timeshare. There's always something to be had. So with figuring out how to progress a high stake conversation or having someone who may be a little bit more difficult, you have the lower resistance type of openers or questions. And this really puts you into a spot of Nick, you didn't say empathy, you said compassion.
Yeah.
Like, I may be wrong here, but is this what you meant to say? Or I may be wrong here, but it allows that room for error and allows them to correct you in a way that no one's really feeling like they're lost, right? And correct me if I'm missing something. That's another just right on the nose, right? So all of the point here today is I wanted to help us as we're going out in this season where a lot of people, around almost 70% of homes are not selling right now. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. There's a lot of people that tried to sell, and we can get kind of callous in the industry and say, oh, expired and canceled and, let's just go after them. Well, those are people who had life changes that decided to put their trust in someone and their goals didn't get met. Like, how cruddy would that be, right? Like, it's not a fun thing to go through. So meeting that with compassion and then asking the questions that get you to a way where you are able to serve them.
Yeah, walk me through this. Why do you think your house didn't sell? Just let them talk.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, and one of the things, you can go to the last slide, but one of the things you said that, nobody wants to be sold, but everybody's buying. Our saying is nobody wants to talk to a realtor, but everybody wants to talk real estate.
Yes.
I mean, once you say you're a realtor, they're running for the hills, but everybody wants to talk about the market.
Yes, absolutely. And to tie this all in and end strong, this is something where we have a way of, when you're at a presentation or you're ending a phone call or you're having those weekly calls with your clients, whatever that may be, and they're giving you a reason, it's not unreasonable to just say, what else? Tell me more. That right there, you're going to find out so much more about what they're going through. Or if they gave you an objection, I just don't think it's the right time. Okay, what else? What else may be, but what else may not be the right time? Or what else may be a concern to you? What else? And those types of questions where you're, why, tell me more, what else? That's going to help you show up leaps and bounds above others.
Yeah, okay, so I want to, in a minute, just give you an opportunity to talk about your team, because you guys got an amazing team. I'm going through this, and I feel like now I know how Ryan Reed has been manipulating me over the past 12
I have a
to
meeting
24.
with Ryan this afternoon. I'm real excited now that I got a head on him.
Well, give him some objectives. So you can say, oh, yeah.
But the book and these concepts, you're not going to walk away from this and be able to go out and just implement this. How would you recommend agents really process this stuff, go deeper, try it out, and so forth?
Yeah. So everything you build habits with everything you do. Whatever you choose to do each day, it's building a habit. Choose to have intentional conversations. Choose to ask questions. Choose to get a little bit uncomfortable with the person that walked by in the hallway. Start the conversation with them, and you can use some of this stuff, right? Like, hey, how was your weekend? Oh, it's good. Tell me more. Okay, well, I did this, this, and this. Or, hey, what was something exciting you did? Right? Like, progress that spot. I
love
it was
that.
a really bad example of saying how was the weekend. Never say it. You always
right.
say,
I know.
tell me something exciting that happened. Like, hey, what exciting happened over the weekend? Now they actually get to share something instead of just, how was it? Oh, good. Right? So building up the habit of having these conversations, but then buy the book. Go on Amazon or Phil's website, buy exactly what to say. We do our role plays on Wednesday mornings. You're more than welcome to come in and join for role plays. You know, you don't have to be a part of the team if you're not wanting to be a part of a team. But more people means more perspectives, means more conversations, and now we get to help each other and grow. Right?
It's a gracious opportunity.
Yeah.
All right. So
9 a.m.
9 a.m. All right. So I'm coming in. So tell us a little bit about your team, and we've got your email and your phone number up there. I can speak very highly of your team. You guys run a great operation, and if there's an agent out there considering and thinking about joining a team, you guys would be at the top of the list for me.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
Outside of our team.
There we go. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, Valle Home Group. It's simple. We're trying to serve as many people as we can through just thoughtful interactions and ensuring that we can serve our team members by providing them the effective leads and equipping them with the right conversations to have. And then that transfers into our clients, and it's able to now get the home sold for the sellers and help buyers negotiate the best deals. And so if we can equip ourselves and become true professionals, we believe an educated buyer and educated seller make a healthy market. And so what goes before that is an educated professional. And so if we can make and help more professionals be educated within their industry, more buyers and sellers can be educated, and we'll be in good shape.
And you can check them out on Wednesday mornings in the role playing, because for me, all this information is great, but if you're not doing it, and role playing is, even though it can be very, very uncomfortable, it is that safe place. We do it with our team a lot, and we can give each other, ideas and so forth. It's fantastic.
The benefit of role play is that you don't have the answer, and your anxiety increases when somebody asks you those questions or has an objection, and you don't have it, so you crawl deeper inside yourself. And so and role play is not to put you on the spot. Role play is to have you self-identify those areas of conversation you need help in that can help you 10+ your business.
Yeah, practice in a safe environment. Why practice on clients or potential clients, right?
All right, Kevin, thank you. Incredible information. We leave everybody with the quote of the day: don't watch the clock, do what it does, keep going. Appreciate everybody. Go out and sell a home.